At least 31 students arrested in Port Elizabeth, while tensions simmer in Johannesburg after Mcebo Dlamini is denied bail. New Public Protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane demands an apology over claims that she is a spy. Good evening to you. You're watching eNews Direct. I'm Duduzile Ramela.
And I'm Sandy Legangose. Good evening.
To comment on any of our stories, you can find us on Twitter and Facebook. That's at eNews Direct.
And tonight our hashtags are Fees Must Fall, Mcebo Dlamini and Public Protector.
We start with this. Crisis talks are underway at Wits University. Students are holding mass meetings at Solomon Mahlangu House. They initially gathered at the Holy Trinity Catholic Church in Braamfontein. They then changed venue, saying they were unhappy about the presence of the Vice-Chancellor. We understand Adam Habib was eventually chased out of the church. Former Public Protector Thuli Madonsela was expected to address the meeting. Meanwhile, 31 students from the Nelson Mandela Metropolitan University are in police custody tonight. This brings to 40 the total number of students arrested in Port Elizabeth in the last 2 days. They were arrested following running battles with police officers. Lectures did get underway at the university this morning, but they had to be cancelled after disruptions by protesting students.
They divided into small groups, using the attack and retreat strategy to frustrate the police. The students also hid throughout campus, using vantage points to launch attacks on officers. Some of the students who were trying to get to class were caught up in the mayhem.
The majority of those people that are there came under the command of the university that says that academic activities are continuing, and which is a problem because the university is sending students onto campus, but then they risk being shot at, they risk being taken gas, they even risk being arrested.
The few lectures that did get underway were disrupted.
We know that because we've lost so much time, we have to get back into the classroom. And unfortunately, there have been disruptions. We're very surprised at them, but we're committed to continue with the academic year.
Police chased and cornered some protesters into the administration building, arresting several students for public violence.
No, they didn't threaten us, They were just cussing at us, and then they manhandled us, and then they were just throwing us to the floor and stuff. They started being nice, maybe like after and after, they were just brutal to us. They're brutal.
The students will appear in court on Thursday. Sandy McCowan, Port Elizabeth.
At the same time, Mcebo Dlamini will remain behind bars until his next court appearance in November. The Wits University student activist has been denied bail by the Johannesburg Magistrates Court today. Dlamini maintains that the case against him is politically motivated.
A confident Mcebo Dlamini addressing the media before his bail hearing.
How are you feeling today?
I'm fine.
You're positive?
We are optimistic. Yes.
During proceedings, the truthfulness of his submissions came under scrutiny.
The court is of the view that the applicant was not always frank and honest with the court.
And after going through the submissions made by the state and Dlamini's legal team, Magistrate Albertus Roux was ready to deliver his ruling.
The court is satisfied that it was shown that it would not be in the interest of justice to release the applicant on bail. The application by the applicant for his release on bail is therefore refused.
The decision to deny Dlamini bail sent shockwaves throughout the packed courtroom. But his lawyer says the student activist respects the court's decision.
We made our submissions and we believed in our submissions. But of course the court made a decision. We respect the decision of the court and we will consider further avenues available to us.
Dlamini will remain behind bars until the case resumes on the 15th of November. Sikelo Namdingi at the Johannesburg Magistrates Court.
In other news, Public Protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane came face-to-face with members of Parliament today. She was briefing the Justice and Correctional Services Portfolio Committee. Mkhwebane was made to answer questions about the state capture report.
Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane back before Parliament, this time as the new Public Protector. But her maiden presentation of the office's financial report was overshadowed by questions on the state capture report.
At this stage, we have not been placed as the complainants in this matter in possession of the report, so I would like to inquire as to when that will happen.
Mkhwebane was seemingly not fazed by the onslaught.
I would want to indicate that the matter is before court, and I wouldn't comment on the letter written by the former Public Protector to the Speaker of the National Assembly, because that is inside the report, and the report is kept safely in the safe of the head of legal services.
There was a call from some MPs from Mkhwebane to make sure the report is protected, and a promise to shield her from attacks that her predecessor Thuli Madonsela endured during her tenure.
It's not true that this committee never used to mistreat the previous Public Protector. It used to do that, led by the chairperson. He used to abuse her, he used to mistreat her, he used to interrupt her when she's speaking, he used to speak bad of her. And the members of the ANC used to call her a CIA agent. We're not going to do that to you.
MPs also raised concerns over the Office of the Public Protector receiving funds from foreign donors. But Mkhwebane has assured them, saying she's taking a different approach.
Going forward, I commit no consultant will be utilized in that office, no donor fund will be requested in that office.
The new Public Protector has promised to make sure that all South Africans are aware of the services her office offers. Bonga Dlulane, Parliament.
Now, today we caught up with the man who was central in the 5-year Shembe Church leadership battle. Zwelabantu Buthelezi is the late Vimbeni Shembe's lawyer. 5 years ago, Buthelezi read out a letter penned by Vimbeni Shembe, naming Vela Shembe as his successor. This letter was central to yesterday's court ruling, which confirmed Vela as the church's rightful leader.
This is the man who played a part in foiling Mduduzi Shembe's attempt to take over from his father, Vimbeni Shembe. Zwelabantu Buthelezi is Vimbeni Shembe's attorney, the custodian of the crucial letter nominating Vela Shembe as the church's rightful leader. Buthelezi recalls being escorted by a large police contingent on the day he read out the contents of that letter publicly.
It was more than 10 carrying heavy firearms who were there, so it was quite many. It was quite a scene, even if you have a look at the video of the funeral.
He says there was pressure from everywhere, not only from the Amakhosi who tried to stop him from making the contents of the letter known.
Some of them tried to persuade me not to make the announcement. I said, no way. I'm going to make the announcement because Shembe has sent me to make the announcement.
Buthelezi says he was stunned when Chief Mqoqi Ngcobo of Amakati announced Mduduzi Shembe as the church's new leader. Zwelabantu Buthelezi says he's prepared to stand by the letter, which on Tuesday saw Vela Shembe take his place as the leader of the Nazareth Baptist Church. Skushangase, Durban.
The country's new state-of-the-art passenger train has been unveiled. The new trains are soon to be rolled out as part of PRASA's 20-year modernization program.
South Africa's passenger rail system is receiving a facelift. PRASA has revealed a replica of the country's train of the future. It's now on show at the Pretoria station.
What we are offering is an opportunity for passengers as well as South Africans at large to come and see what the new train looks like, to come and experience it, to get familiar with the new technology and to get excited about what the future holds for public transportation.
The state-of-the-art trains will be a massive improvement for rail commuters. The current fleet has been in service for more than 40 years. With improved commuter safety and comfort, PRASA will also be using technology such as CCTV cameras to change the way we travel. The trains will have improved access, ablution facilities for long-distance travel, and a more comfortable travelling experience for people with disabilities. The fleet of trains, which are part of PRASA's modernization program, will take about 2 decades to complete. 11 of the first 20 trains have already arrived from Brazil. The remaining 580 carriages are being built at a factory in Ekurhuleni. The new trains will be seen on the Pienaarpoort and Kuduspoort route in Pretoria, but only after the railway safety regulator gives them the green light. Jody Jacobs, Pretoria.
In world news, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump will go head-to-head in the third and final presidential debate. Experts say it could be one of Trump's last opportunities to redeem his election campaign. The pair will face off at the University of Las Vegas tonight. And a protest in the Philippines has turned violent after a police van rammed into a group of demonstrators. Around 1,000 people gathered outside the U.S. Embassy in Manila to protest against a military pact allowing more American troops in the country. Police say the activists didn't have permission to protest. Youth Federation of the Democratic Alliance has laid incitement of violence charges against ANC Youth League President Colin Maine. The move follows Maine's call for the ANC's now defunct armed wing to take up its guns and defend President Jacob Zuma. The call was made over the weekend during a march held to show solidarity with the president. Maine has since apologized. We end with this. The Gupta-owned company Oak Bay Investments will oppose Pravin Gordhan's court application. The finance minister last week alleged that the Financial Intelligence Center had highlighted 72 suspicious bank transactions linked to the Gupta family and businesses. Gordhan wants the North Gauteng High Court to declare that as finance minister, he's not obligated to help after the country's banks closed Gupta-linked accounts. The family has denied any wrongdoing and wants Gordhan to withdraw the application. If you've missed any of the stories we're tracking for you tonight, you can, of course, check us out on Twitter and Facebook. That's at eNews Direct. Or you can head on over to our website. That's eNCA.com/direct. Your business news as well as your weather after this. In money matters, the price of goods and services has again risen above the Reserve Bank's target band. Consumer price inflation rose 6.1% in September compared to a year earlier. Data from Stats SA shows that CPI ticked up 0.2% month on month from August. Some analysts estimate that inflation will push higher in the coming months, but they foresee it falling back within target in the coming year. A higher oil price and any adverse currency movements may affect this outlook. The Reserve Bank, however, still regards the indicator to be stable despite it breaking the 3 to 6% range. Let's see how the markets perform today. Let's check in with the Weather Centre. Here's Candice.
It's been a cool, cloudy and wet day over the northeastern part of South Africa on Wednesday, with thundershowers over the central and eastern interior in the afternoon. But in contrast, we've seen sunny and warm weather in the west. That warm weather continues on Thursday, but with the possibility of fog along the west coast. We'll see a bit of cloud over the western and southern part of the country, with widespread thunderstorms for the Free State, and we'll see isolated to scattered thundershowers over the eastern half of South Africa. It'll be a similar day for KwaZulu-Natal tomorrow, with a large amount of cloud and the possibility of thundershowers, especially over the interior, with most highs heading into the mid-20s. Thundershowers are forecast mainly over the northern part of the Eastern Cape, with a warm to hot day, partly cloudy and dry for Port Elizabeth at 24 degrees. That warm weather spreads through to George at 27. We head into the low 30s over the interior part of the Western Cape. Still warm for Cape Town at 28 degrees with a partly cloudy forecast, but we're expecting some fog along the west coast. Hot for Uppington and Prieska, both in the mid-30s, with isolated thundershowers expected over the eastern and southeastern part of the Northern Cape. Widespread thunderstorms are forecast throughout the Free State, with a large amount of cloud in store. 27 for Bloemfontein and for Reesmith. It'll be a warmer day for the northwest, 28 degrees for Mahikeng and Klerksdorp, with a mostly cloudy day and isolated thundershowers. A chance of rainfall also spills over into the western and southern part of Limpopo, with a dry forecast over the northeastern parts. 28 degrees for Mpumalanga, with a mostly cloudy day and isolated thundershowers throughout Mpumalanga, with highs in the mid-20s as we head towards the Highveld. In Gauteng, we're still expecting quite a bit of cloud with isolated thundershowers on Thursday. 28 degrees for Pretoria, with the rest of those highs in the mid-20s. On Friday morning, we can expect some rainfall for Cape Town with a high of 20 degrees. Thundershowers continue over the central, northeastern and eastern part of South Africa. In fact, that thunderstorm activity continues all the way through to Saturday, where we can also expect some rainfall, especially over the southern and southeastern parts, with a cooler forecast in store. That's all from the Weather Centre for now. Have a great night.
Thank you, Candice. After the break, a Cape Town organisation is helping to make homework a bit more fun. An after-school program in Cape Town is helping pupils from disadvantaged communities improve their grades.
Yep, and what makes that initiative special is that all of the tutors are volunteers.
It may be home time for most pupils, but for these youngsters, it's just the start of their aftercare classes. Non-profit organisation HELP, or Homework Enrichment Life Skills Program, is giving grade 2 pupils much needed help to improve their reading and maths.
We're just parents, and we're doing what we did for our own kids, and we are helping the kids improve their English and their numeracy skills.
The program runs entirely on a voluntary basis, and for tutor Tracy Cohen, who lives with cerebral palsy, giving of her time to work with the children for the past 2 years has been massively rewarding.
Despite all my challenges that I have, I've realized that there are so many people who are less fortunate than myself.
Fellow tutor Langton Manyai feels the same way.
To feel that I've helped someone. So it's just a feeling that comes from me, that I've seen this child growing from zero maybe to hero.
So far, HELP is only able to assist 2 schools, and already the program seems to be bearing fruit.
So how long have you been doing this program, and has it helped you a lot?
Just for a year, and I liked it because it makes me good doing my maths and English, and that's why I have to go to report for this year.
Wow, high five for that.
It helps me a lot. Couldn't read so well, but now I can.
With results like these, one can only hope that the program will flourish and attract more willing helpers. Tanya Neft, Cape Town.
A recap of the day's top stories before we say goodbye. At least 31 students arrested in Port Elizabeth, while tensions simmer in Johannesburg after Wits protest leader Mcebo Dlamini is denied bail. New Public Protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane demands an apology over claims that she's a spy. And that's a wrap from the eNews Direct team.
Yep, Rhythm City is up next. We're back tomorrow.
We do love to hear from you. You can send us an email to enewsdirect@etv.co.za.
Until then, take care.